Hey everyone, welcome back. Thanks for checking out this video. Today we have a Commodore 64. So this should be pretty exciting. It's got the black screen, which is very common to these things. I've actually been watching tons of Gadget UK's and Jan Beta's YouTube videos on their Commodore 64 repair, so I've learned a whole bunch, so I think I'm ready to tackle this one. So I don't know, for the first one, hopefully it's simple, but I'll link their channels in the description. Definitely check them out. They are very knowledgeable and very entertaining to watch. Alright, so usually one of the first things you want to check are the power supplies here, because apparently they're notorious for going bad and throwing like 10 volts through the 5-volt rail. So they have two supply voltages, I believe. Yeah, they output both 5-volt DC and 9 volts AC. I already checked this one, and this one is giving out the proper voltages. So first let's plug it in and show you what it's doing. And I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do that. I'd probably just use my cell phone because I don't have like a 2 video setup, so probably use my cell phone and like overlay a video, and I'm gonna use through RF. Alright, so everything's plugged in, and so power it on, and see that the light comes on, but we have a black screen. But alright, so let me take out my cell phone. So yeah, as you can see, there is a black screen. Power it off. Power it back on. And yeah, we're getting the black screen. So let's take this thing apart. It's really simple to take apart. I'm gonna unplug it. Should have probably turned it off first. Flip it over, and then there's just 3 screws on the bottom that we'll want to take out. Flip it back over, and then we just want to take out the LED light connection, and then over here is the keyboard. So unplug both of those, and as we got the top piece where the keyboard's held, we'll move that aside. And since this is the NTSC version, I believe that's why it has this. I don't think the PAL versions had it, because I don't think they have as specific FCC guidelines. But this can just be pried back for now. And here we go. So this is the main board, not much to it. We'll take this shield off because this is where I believe the video chip is. Just kind of pry that open pretty easily. I think this has been taken apart before. Okay, put that aside. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to want to do is plug it in, turn it on, and check some voltages on the board. See if we're getting proper voltages. Okay. A bit. Where's a good spot to put this? Nowhere, apparently. Get it so it's not blinded by the light. Alright, well, now I have that song stuff in my head. But first let's check this 5-volt voltage regulator here. So where's pin 2 is the output voltage. We should be getting 5 volts. And we should also turn it on first, Hey. And we're getting 5 volts. And I believe this should be 12 volts, which again, pin 2 is the output. 11.8, good enough. And I also believe that there's a separate 5-volt rail that's not created from this voltage regulator, that actually is just from the input of the jack there, or the power supply rather. So let's keep the ground there. I believe if we measure pin 1 right here, yep, that's 5 volts, and that should be coming from the actual power supply and not the voltage regulator. So it looks like the power to the board looks fine. Now, I believe these 2 chips here are ones that commonly fail. At least, from all the videos I was watching, that these commonly go bad, but only if they're the MOS brand chips, and these ones are not. So it's probably not. That's probably not going to be the problem. Which kind of sucks, because I did order a bunch of them, replacement chips, just to in hopes that would be the problem. So right now, let's see. So according to the research I've done, if I take these 2 chips out and this chip, so these I believe are the CIA chips, and this is the SID chip, which is the sound chip, and these I believe control the keyboard, the serial imports, output controller, stuff like that. So I believe if we take these 3 chips out, it should not affect how it boots. So let's make sure we turn this off first, and I'm just going to remove those chips, turn it on, see if we still have a black screen or not, and then put the chips one by one back in place. And you want to do this carefully, because you don't want to bend the pins. Just carefully put them aside. Stuck. Okay. Okay. Now I believe other common issues are that this is the PLA chip, and I guess that's kind of like one of the main chips that controls everything on here, if I understand correctly. And that commonly goes bad, and that's hard to find. Lots of people have aftermarket ones for it, but they're expensive, so I'm kind of hoping that's not the issue. And this is the CPU, I believe. This MOS 6510. Alright, so again, these should boot without those chips. It shouldn't affect just booting into the basic, I guess, you know, into the basic part of it, because that's what these things run, basic. Alright, so let me get my cell phone ready. Okay, so alright, I'm going to turn it on now. And I should probably turn it off and plug in the RF adapter. And we're going to try this again. Okay. So it's booting. We boots into the main screen, and well, it's could be pretty simple. Lucky me. Alright, so we need to figure out which one of these chips did it. Alright, so I'm going to start with the sound chip, the SID chip here. I'm gonna put this back in. And in this case, you want to make sure you put the chip in correctly. So what I do is I just usually see the little notch up here. Yeah, so see that little notch. It's also a little notch on there, and it follows the little diagram there. So just line that up and put the chip back in. Okay. So that chip is now back in. So let's turn it on. Okay, still boots up. Alright, so it's not that chip. Okay, so let's put, this was the left one, I believe. Put the CIA chip back in. Now, from the videos I watched, these rarely go wrong. So I wonder if maybe something just needed to be reseated. Go wrong. These rarely go bad. So again, I wonder if something was just dirty and needed to be reseated, but let's find out. Or could be bad. So we have that other CIA chip in. Let's turn it on. Okay. Still boots. Alright, so the process of elimination, it is this CIA chip, which, let's plug it in and see what it does. Alright, so that is plugged in. Let's turn it on. Wah, wah, wah. Nothing. Okay. So it's that chip. Now since they're the same chip, I'm curious. What happens if we flip them around? And of course, it would be one of the chips that rarely fails for me, but at the same time, it's better than trying to diagnose one of these, so as my first repair I will take it. Alright, so this is the... Right? Is this the bad one? I've lost track in my talking. I've got the memory of a goldfish. Well, let's put this... I honestly don't know if this is the one I'm just putting right back in the same spot. And upside down, no less. So that's... I might make for a fun video. Apply what, 5 volts or whatever it is to run this chip right to the wrong pin and probably see some smoke. Okay. Alright. I think the bad chip is now put into the other slot. So let's turn it on and see what happens. Okay, and it turns on. Press play on T. I don't think, was that there before? I don't think that was there with the other videos, was it? Might have to rewind and find out. So yeah, I rewatched the video on my phone, and yeah, the ready, load, press play on tape was not there. But yeah, so it's like it's almost auto inputting some commands or signals or something like that. So yeah, so this chip is bad. So it's gonna take it out. Put the bad chip away, put the good chip back in, and see if I can order a replacement. Okay, so I was able to find a chip off eBay and was actually able to offer him, one of those best offer deals and get it for about half the price he was asking, which is good because it was expensive. But let's see. So still just pretty much have this thing apart. It hasn't really moved much. Okay. So old chip, new chip. Hopefully it's good. Get the chip in, make sure it's good. Okay. Where's my cell phone? There it is. Oh, I should probably plug everything in there, right? Okay. Okay. Turn it on. Hey, everything looks good. Yay. Alright, so it appears to be fixed. Alright, turn it off. Ah, well, this was simple. I'll take this every day. So that's cool. I actually also ordered a recap kit from Console 5 that comes with, capacitors, because apparently that's, one of the maintenance things you can do on these things is replace all the caps. I believe it even comes with some of those ceramic capacitors. So I think that might be another video. But I do hope to get more of these. Just make sure I'll write bad on that. But I do hope to get more of these and actually work on them more and become a little bit more knowledgeable. Right now this is a pretty basic video with hopefully somewhat right information. But again, check out the 2 channels that I'll link in the description if you're interested in Commodore 64 repairs. But let's put this thing back together, and I think it'll be all set. I guess we should check to make sure the keyboard works. So we can do that. Luckily the keyboard is, the connector is just keyed a certain way, so you can't really screw it up. Okay, keyboard in, LED in. Okay. So I had noticed that when we would boot this thing up, we weren't getting a cursor, so that was weird. So I was wondering if maybe both the chips, the other CIA chip was bad, and I just, didn't notice. So I just took both chips out, reseated them, still didn't get a cursor. So took both chips out again, and then just put a little alcohol and toothbrush and kind of cleaned up those slots. And then when put everything back in, we were getting a cursor. Turn it on. So now we have the cursor. Looks like it's working. Now I actually don't know any basic commands, or actually not even sure if I can do anything without a floppy disk or anything like that loaded into this thing, which I don't have that attachment, hopefully one day. But so this was a simple, quick video on how to quickly troubleshoot, I guess, a basic, or the basic troubleshooting steps. We didn't have to go all that advanced. Found out pretty quickly what was wrong, which is nice. But I hope to get more of these and learn more about them so that I can actually be a little bit more knowledgeable in the videos to come. And when I get that capacitor kit in, I will maybe make a video of that. But thanks for checking this video out. If you have any questions, please comment below. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like the video. If not, tell me what you don't like about it.